Good evening. I'd like to call the Planning Board for the City of Oldsmar meeting to order. It's Wednesday, July 13th at 6:30 p.m. Would you all please stand and join us with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First, we'll have the open forum. Are there any here tonight who wish to speak on an item that is not on the agenda tonight? Seeing no one, we'll move on to the swearing in. Any person who is here that is planning to speak, would you please rise and be sworn in?
Go ahead, yes. Do you swear the testimony you are about to give the truth so help you before God?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes dated June 8th, 2022. Those all were sent to you in advance of the meeting.
I move we approve the minutes dated June 8th, 2022 as presented.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes, and so all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
So the minutes are approved and will be entered into record. Agenda item 2 is CA 22-09, City of Oldsmar Code Amendment to Section 2.1 of the Town Center Development Code defining restrictive uses. We have our monitors.
Good afternoon, Elena Delgado, City of Oldsmar Planning and Redevelopment. As stated, this is Code Amendment 22-09, firearm preemption. In 2021, Section 790.33 of the Florida statutes was amended to preempt the field of regulation of firearms and ammunition from municipalities. Currently, Section 2.1 of the Town Center Development Code and the City of Oldsmar defined gun shops as a restrictive use that are typically characterized by poorly maintained facilities, loitering, and other indices of neighborhood deterioration. The current code goes on to prohibit gun shops in the town center and Tampa Road corridor through Section 3.2.1 and Section 5.5.3.2 respectively. The city received a formal notice from an interest group stating that the code was out of compliance with the new state statute by wholly regulating the field of firearm use and requested a revision to remedy the violation. Staff is requesting this code amendment to redefine gun shops within the restrictive uses section of the code to meet the statutory requirement. Per the Florida statute, municipalities are not able to wholly regulate the field of firearms. Through Chapter 163, Part 2 of the Florida statutes, our Guiding Comprehensive Plan and Land Development Code are governed by compliance to all state statutes. The amendment therefore meets the new Florida Statute, Land Development Code, and Comprehensive Plan and complies with them. As a Florida municipality, it is in the best interest of the community to meet the state legislative standards and therefore will contribute to promote the community's welfare. And the amendment will remove gun shops as a restrictive use within the town center and Tampa Road corridor and will not grant a special privilege to an individual property owner. Staff recommends that the planning board recommends the city council to authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance for an amendment to Section 2.1 of the Town Center Development Code, removing gun shops from the restrictive uses section of the code for preemption compliance.
Okay. Thank you, Elena. Any questions for staff?
You may not know the answer to this, but do you know when this original section was?
Do not.
No?
I was thinking the same
Yeah,
thing.
I do not. You mean the restrictive uses
Loitering and
definition?
other indices of neighborhood, how judgmental. And that's kind of really all I needed to know.
Yeah, I don't have that information with me. Apologies.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you.
My only question was if no one else had questions for staff. I was just curious if maybe preemptively the city might be looking at some other items that are in that same list that
Hmm.
could potentially cause a retrofit at a later date. So I didn't know if proactively, maybe that is being done.
Sure, sure. We do keep a general sort of record of things in the code as they come up that we foresee potentially some preemption and/or preemption has passed, and we need to address it. But more often than not, we're a little bit reactive instead on that general kind of code compliance, and it typically comes as a result of a nonprofit that's doing some sort of due diligence.
Okay. I just noted other things in that.
Sure.
In particular
Sure.
ones like tattoos and body piercings, which are all very common today. So that's why I also wondered, when it was written.
Right.
And, it was kind of putting a spin on those particular places.
Yes, and I can add to this. Tatiana Childress, City of Oldsmar Planning and Redevelopment. So while we're putting together this staff report, and I was doing some research, and also I've notified the city attorney's office, and we actually received a recommendation from the attorney stating that we might revisit that section of the restrictive uses. However, while we're doing the comprehensive plan amendment, there will be some land development code amendments as well, and that would be probably a more appropriate time to revisit some of those sections and bring it in front of the planning board, and also have some workshops and to see what the community actually would like to, not just, the planning
Wonderful.
staff.
I
So-
should have known you were on it.
But usually they're usually either driven by someone from the business community. So if a business wanted to move in and they wanted to open one of those restrictive uses in the area, so, or that would be like a state preemption, or there will be something else, some kind of trigger, so for us to amend the code, or, right, so, thank you.
Thank you for that explanation. So the item on the agenda, if no one else has any discussion on that?
No, this is actually, I think, the fourth change relating to the gun laws from the state. I think the council's already talked about three others and sent them for second readings. And this is the last one or the fourth one.
Mhm.
So,
I know that the others didn't necessarily have to come before.
The other
planning
two,
board, but there were.
the other two that are related to this one are both in the standard city charter that is not required to come to planning board, as it's not a land development planning item. And, sorry, the code of ordinances, my apologies, not the charter.
This particular ordinance is located within the section of the code, in the land development section of the code, and any items in the land development code, they have to be presented for any amendment. Any amendments within the section of the land development code have to be presented in front of the planning board, city council. So, anything outside of the land development code could go straight to the council, bypassing the planning board by current, code standards. Thank
Right.
you.
Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate that. Is there anyone here that wishes to speak on this item? Is that right? Okay, am I? Okay.
You're fine.
Still checking in on myself. Anyone here wishing to speak on this particular agenda item? Okay, seeing no one, then I'm looking for a motion on this item.
I'll go. I move that we approve CA 2209, Oldsmar Code Amendment in Section 2.1, Town Center Redevelopment, redefining restrictive uses as presented by staff to council for approval.
I will second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Gonna
Do the
do
roll call?
Roll call. Okay, thank you.
Aye.
Board Member Rambour, aye. Board Member Janakis?
Aye.
Board Member Roundhouse?
Aye.
Board Member Pelletier?
Aye.
Chair Oliver?
Aye.
Code Amendment 2209, to recommend that the City Council authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance to amend Section 2.1 of the Town Center Development Code, is approved with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 3 is ZLU 22-01, Oldsmar Track LLC rezoning.
Yes, we received a request from the applicant late this afternoon. He is out of town and unable to attend, so he's requesting that this be rescheduled for the August planning board meeting.
Okay.
We're gonna come back in August.
You do.
Well, it's a busy summer. Been met in 2 years and here we go.
That's right.
Is that,
Okay.
excuse me, Kathy, is that what this is for?
No, that was for the previous item. That's some definitions.
That was in reference to the definition section of.
Commercial general vista. Okay.
Alrighty, so we will postpone that one. And then our next agenda item, do I have to do anything between, after we're just moving that to next month and I don't.
Right, that's all we have to do.
So the next agenda item, we have opening on our planning board, so we're looking forward to welcoming a new member. And we have a couple of applicants to interview. So agenda item 4 is interview applicants for vacant alternate position. And our applicants here today,
Point of order?
We have
yes,
three
help
of,
me.
three of
Point
the,
of order. How do we want to choose this person? Well, in the past, it was the last, the oldest applicant was to me, was the choice, because they waited the longest. And Kathy had sent out that note about you could do a public vote. And what do you all prefer to do? I mean, y'all have an opinion on this?
My opinion on it, I do agree with you. I think it should be the longest,
This guy's
It's
waited
wait-
since 2019. That's a
Yeah.
long time to sit on this board.
the longest to wait.
Now, the only thing that made me nervous is that lawyer.
what?
But, I mean, it does, everybody still has to wait, but that's, I prefer doing it like that. And that's the way we've done it.
Who's the oldest? Stephen Sock.
Yeah, I know that, are both applicants here? Because I always hate to waste anyone's time. I wish we had told them that, and not
Well,
invited
but-
them, but, that is a good conversation to have. I think in the past, we interviewed them, but then we did choose based on the longevity because they were equally balanced. That's my
Put 'em on-
recollection.
We can put them on the hot seat and talk to them and tell them, well, sorry, you gotta wait, but I'm okay with that too. That way we all get to know each other.
Yeah, I think you should at least give them the courtesy of interviewing them.
I would
Yeah,
appreciate
I
that. And
agree.
plus, then, the next time, we know who it will be and we'll already have met. How's that?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
also with alternates though, is there any vacancies regarding alternates?
That's the alternate position we're in.
We have.
That is this
yes,
is the alternate?
This is an
Okay,
alternate, yeah.
Okay.
Who are
right.
the candidates that are here?
Stephen Sock is here, Artie Caldwell, and are you? Lynette Kirby, okay, I wasn't sure if you were Lynette or Tanya, I'm sorry.
Okay. So,
I thought Artie wasn't coming.
not
His
here.
plans changed.
Oh, he is here.
Actually
good.
cut his vacation short so he could be here
So
tonight.
Tanya is not
Oh,
here.
Oh.
that's terrible.
So you really do need to,
So is Tanya the
Tanya
candidate?
is
Okay,
not
great.
present, I haven't heard from her today, so.
So, then if, maybe, Stephen, if you could come up, Stephen Sock. And first of all, we really appreciate you wanting to get involved in the city, since 2019.
Yes, thank you.
So, I know you filled out the application. Would you like to just tell us a little about your connection with Oldsmar?
Yeah,
and-
absolutely. Yeah, I moved to Oldsmar. I bought my house here when I was still in my 20s, so I've been here for a while. I've watched a lot of development in Oldsmar. I remember studying for a college exam at a table right by that window when this was the library. So I've seen lots of changes in Oldsmar. And just not only been interested in that, but as you said, I'm an attorney, so I went to law school. And when I was in law school, I worked for the Pinellas County Attorney's Office. So I have some experience with municipal codes and stuff like that. Do you have any specific questions you'd like?
Does anybody have questions?
So the type of attorney you are is related to,
No, I do contract disputes, mostly insurance
I think
disputes.
that's what our former mayor used to do, Mayor Sandler. No, I don't have any other questions.
Anybody else?
I also remembered one of my first, when I was younger, one of my first civic experiences with Jerry Beaverland, had somebody give me a private tour of the new wastewater treatment plant. So that's a humorous civic introduction to
What encouraged you
Oldsmar.
to finally come and try this?
I did come in before, and I wasn't the oldest candidate, as you pointed out, so
That was
I was told to wait till the next time.
Well, if you take a look at our board, you think we go for the oldest in age candidate usually, but
Yeah, I've been doing this for like as bad as Bob Harvey.
they're starting to let some,
Thank you for that.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you so much. And then I have Lynette, if you want to, I was trying to, yeah, you both, Lynette and Stephen Caldwell, you, within days of one another, submitted your application, so
Oh, wow.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I didn't stand up during the swearing in.
That's okay.
That's okay?
It's
Okay.
okay, yeah.
That was my assumption, but I want to do the right thing. I'm Lynette Kirby. I moved to Oldsmar in 2015. And I know Paula Saraki through Women's Club Oldsmar. So she's the one who let me know that there were various boards in the city of Oldsmar. So I applied for a couple. This one I applied for more because of the development that they're talking about right now. And I live on Forest Lakes near the ice rink. And it's a 3-minute light at Tampa Road and Forest Lakes. And I'm like, if we're gonna redevelop, we gotta fix this light. But the other thing is I have a stepson, and there are no summer camps in the city of Oldsmar. Well, there's like 3. You have like 3 options. So I wasn't exactly sure what the planning board did, but I'm like, if it's gonna talk about development, they need someone who can present to them logistics of, if we have 3-minute lights, that sometimes you're there for 15 minutes and you're trying to get to work, that's not helpful. And when you're looking for a summer camp and you can't do it in the city of Oldsmar, like he's my stepson, I have him every other week, so I can't buy at the rec center, then I have to go out. And if I'm going out for summer camp, then I'm not spending my money here. I'm spending my money where the summer camp is,
Yeah, good point.
so.
How old is your stepson?
He is 12.
Okay, because we need a teen member on our board too, so.
Yeah, he'll be 13 on Valentine's Day. And then like last summer, he signed up for 3 or 4 of the ball hockey summer camps, and all but one got canceled. So, you plan to have him there, and then, oh, guess what? We can't have it this week. So that's why I decided I would try to get involved.
Great.
Great, thank you. Do you guys have any questions?
We know Paula.
Maybe a little bit?
A little bit. And you came to the Education Foundation community event, didn't you? Come to that?
Yes,
where they
so
introduced the
Paula
story? Yeah,
asked me to go there. I'm on a couple boards in Clearwater. So Paula's trying to let me know everything that's in the city of Oldsmar, because she knows, that I volunteer and I serve on boards.
Yeah, great, great. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, thank you.
Again. And Stephen Caldwell.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Stephen Caldwell. My friends call me Artie. That's been my nickname for a long time. I have a background in architectural design. So I've moved to Oldsmar in 2007 from Columbus, Ohio. And I've worked in Tampa Bay as an architectural designer ever since then. I am very familiar with municipal codes for the entire Tampa Bay. I thoroughly fight many city halls in order to get buildings built. So that's been my background for a very long time. Let's see, 2018, I retired officially from architectural design, and I now work as a realtor in the area. So I sell houses and businesses and hotels and what have you. So the things I used to build, I'm now selling them. So that's my background for this position that I would like to, and I would like to bring my experience to the city, so that I think I've got a lot to offer. So for Oldsmar.
Nice to meet you. Any questions for Artie?
Artie, is Is the planning board the only board you applied to?
This is the only one I've applied for, yes. And, I figured this was most suited to my background and my skills. So this was really kind of my goal where I was aiming for. When I lived in Columbus, Ohio, I ran the local arts council up there for about 6 years. So I've got a little experience with councils and boards and, getting that sort of thing done. So I've got some background in it.
Any other questions for Artie?
Any questions? No?
Thank you, great introduction.
Keep your application with us.
Yes,
Your turn will
absolutely.
roll around.
Yes. Yes, and I know Mayor Saraki, he encouraged me to apply for this.
Great, good to hear.
I was on his original team whenever he was first running for city council years and years ago, and now he's mayor, so, which is pretty cool. So
Well,
I'd
that's
like to
what
think
mayors do,
I helped
you
him
know,
get that start.
I'm here because of Mayor Seidel. You call and you complain about things, and they go, hey, you should get on one of these boards.
Yes.
So, here we
Yes,
go.
I know him too, so he's a good guy. So,
All right, well, great, nice to meet you.
all right, thank you.
So I think the board, do we need to vote on how we are choosing tonight, or is that more of just a discussion and informal?
The process is a discussion, but you will need a formal recommendation.
Should we set a, okay, so I'm looking for a motion on selecting our applicant to serve on the planning board based on the longevity of the application.
I move we select an applicant based on the age of his application.
Thank you for rephrasing that so nicely for me. A second on that?
Second.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
So
That results in
that results in,
Mr. Sock being the guy, right?
yes, so that results in Stephen Sock being our new alternate planning board member.
Just for clarification, you're recommending him to the city
Oh,
council for appointment.
recommending
So they make,
Mr.
the city
Stephen
council makes
Sock.
the actual appointment,
Right.
and I'll get with you to arrange a date for that.
And stay out of trouble until then, so, yeah. Otherwise we have two alternates, so.
And for the other two, this board has had some turnover lately, and I anticipate there may be some more of that. So I don't think you'll have to wait 3 years or anything like that. So if you're still interested, I'll contact you at the very next vacancy.
Yeah, they keep running for council,
Yeah, they do do
getting
that.
elected.
Yeah.
Right, well, these names I'm hearing, all these names tonight sounded like I could see them running for, office of some kind.
Yeah.
Definitely, so, hopefully.
That's what I did back in the 90s. I just didn't get elected.
Oh, got to bring it back.
Oh, no.
All right, so we are done with our agenda items, and so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn our meeting tonight.
Madam Chair, if
Oh,
you'll,
thank you.
just one, I have another service award to present
Oh, I did not know.
tonight. I know, I
So
didn't
I will
have a
turn it
chance
over
to tell
to
you.
you.
This is a 5-year service award to Pat. It's been 5 years since you've been a member.
You've been here that long, Pat? You've been with us sitting here that long?
These are typically presented at the volunteer appreciation.
Oh
and you
my
weren't
gosh,
able to
isn't that
attend,
nice?
so-
Thank you.
All right.
Do we need to take a picture?
Gosh, time goes
Yes,
by.
yes, yes.
I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Oh, well, you started out as an
I can't be
alternate.
that old.
Should we come down to the
Are we-
front, or how you want to do the picture?
However you want to do it.
I think we all just crowded around here last time. Todd, I'm gonna put you in
All right.
the middle here, though. You can have this seat.
Oh, my goodness. Am I supposed to hold this? What am I
Sure,
supposed to hold?
or something, quick picture.
5 years, I can't believe it.
Right in the middle here.
How long have I lived here? Where do you want me to stand?
Right in the,
Can you
Oh,
see us
my
all?
goodness.
Different angle from here.
I would have dressed up.
Perfect, thank you.
they can put a whole outfit on you these days.
We'll Photoshop it for you.
What do you want to wear?
Are you going down?
All right, I'm just gonna look to you, Kathy. Where do I go now? Are we ready? Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to adjourn. Yes, over here in my right seat.
I was just standing behind you waiting
You
my
are the
turn.
most polite person I've ever met.
I'll wait my
Good thing
turn.
we didn't have a whole meeting left, huh? So, yeah.
Second?
So with a second on the motion, we are calling the meeting to close at 7:56 PM. We didn't have to vote. We didn't have to vote on adjournment, right? Okay, we're done.
Thank you all for coming. I need to speak with you for just a second.
It has been a long day. I have 2 board meetings on the same day on the same month.
You're wrong.